when Gary stumbled across his wife's post on Reddit. He found out she was crushing on a coworker, and immediately he fell to pieces. Not only was his wife crushing hard on this guy, she even shared nudes of herself on Reddit. Can you believe it? As always, links to the original story can be found on coffeeandpopcorn.co.uk. But let's get into it. Gary and his wife Charlotte are in their early 30s and have been married for 5 years, but have been together for a total of 8. However, they don't have any kids. Last summer, Gary found out that his wife made a post on Reddit, a post in which she was asking for advice regarding a guy from her workplace. Unfortunately for Gary, by the time he'd seen the post, it was already 2 years old, and since then, it's been deleted. Luckily though, Gary made a copy of what she wrote, so we get to see exactly what it was she said. The title of her post was, "Does he lust for me or not? Help." So Gracelyn, if you don't mind doing the honors.
Hi. I'm in need of some advice regarding a man I work with. We don't work at the same company. He just has an office next to ours and is in the Army. I'm 28, married and good-looking, and he's 41, married and decent-looking. I'm very friendly, so we started talking about random stuff like metal music, which we're both into. It's since evolved into us having flirty-type discussions, and he's asked me lots about my life, such as my age, where I live, and what my husband does for work, and I figured that he just wanted to know more about me. The other day, I was in his office talking, and he casually gets up, grabs his lotion, and starts applying it to his leg, pulling his pants up and revealing the tattoos he had. Was he showing off? Or was he genuinely applying oil to his tattoos mid-conversation? He's married, but never talks about his married life, and he smiles at me when I come by to see him. He must be flattered that a 28-year-old is interested in him. We've talked for long periods of time, and his body language is always relaxed, like leaning against his door or in his chair. So, while there could be signs of this being a crush, how can I know for sure that he's interested in me? And how would I know how far he's willing to go? I'm happily married, but dig his attention. He's charming, decent looking, and I'm somewhat crushing on him too, but I don't think it'll go anywhere. Still, I can't tell you how I'd react if he kissed me. Would I back off and set boundaries, or pounce on him with raging hormones? Because as a woman, we love that sort of attention and want to be desired. Men, what do you think? How can I find out how he sees me without asking in a direct way?
Now, while the post is gone, the comments weren't deleted, and this is how his wife responded to someone.
I'm shy and I don't think I'll make a move, but I'm not sure if he'd try. I don't think so, unless he's really sure that I like him and not just flirting. Sometimes, it's only me and him on our floor, which is down in the basement of the building, so it's easy. I know that I'm playing with fire, but I don't know why I love the attention and flirty talks with him. Growing up, my dad never gave me attention. My exes left me when I was overweight, and my husband is great, but that gleam that he had in his eyes in the beginning has disappeared. He isn't enamored by me anymore, which happens in most marriages after the honeymoon phase. I'm good looking for my age and in shape now, so I have more confidence this time, and I like flaunting it with him.
Another one of her replies to a comment read,
"Chill, girl, I wasn't the one who stole your man, and like I mentioned in my post, it might not go anywhere, and I don't know what I'd do if he kissed me. Maybe I'd automatically feel guilty and ask him to stop. I don't know. I'm just wondering if by the signs I mentioned above, if he's interested. He's a Christian with kids and has morals, so who knows if he would even go that far, but I haven't dated in a while and wondering, what are the signs that a married man is interested in another woman? Geez, flirting is flirting, and we don't talk personal stuff. It's mostly music, our work, and food. Just general topics for now."
If all this wasn't enough, Gary also found progress pictures that his wife posted a few months prior to this. The first post was legit, but the second one was a nude that she'd previously sent to Gary while he was overseas. In the version she uploaded to Reddit though, her private parts were edited and covered by hearts. Which is something, I guess. When Gary looked through her inbox, it had a few horny dudes in it who messaged Charlotte, and rather than shut them down, she flirted with a couple of them. When Gary shared this story on Reddit, it was 10 months after he found everything out, and he still couldn't believe what had happened. To Gary, it felt like someone else wrote those posts, not his wife. On the day of discovery, Gary blew up at Charlotte and told her that he needed time to reflect on what happened. After questioning her, she insisted that nothing went on between her and this guy at work. She was fantasizing, but regretted it immediately after she posted it. The guy in question used to call her Kid, and had no romantic interest towards her. And she shared pictures on Reddit because she felt the need to be validated, and she hardly remembered posting them.
He could have called her Babadook for all I care. The point is, she was giving this guy the kind of attention she should have been giving to her husband.
Yeah, I won't argue with you there. Eventually, Gary told her to move out and said that they should live apart because that's what he needed. At least that's what he thought. While they stayed in contact the whole time, later on, Gary realized that it was a mistake, as Charlotte recently issued him with an ultimatum, saying that by the following month, Gary had to make a firm decision about their relationship. Given that this story was originally shared back in May of 2024, it's safe to say that by now, Gary's made his choice. Unfortunately for us though, we'll never know what it was since his post no longer exists.
I'm a bit shocked that she was the one to give the ultimatum.
Yeah, and netizens weren't on her side at all, with one person saying,
"The ultimatum ended it. She's not getting her way, so she issues an ultimatum. Let her know she's welcome to go back to the street."
For me though, her giving an ultimatum isn't really an issue, but it is a little weird that it's being issued by the offender. Still, anyone at any time is free to leave a relationship that they don't feel is right for them. Just because she cheated, it doesn't mean she's obligated to stick around and wait for Gary to get over it. Anyway, Charlotte would go on to say that if Gary wants their marriage to work, they have to put in the effort, and living separately wasn't solving anything. What's funny to me is that she recommended that Gary read books on how to be a better partner, as well as articles about love languages.
If you ask me, those are books that she should be reading.
Well, yeah, Gary even said that the things she was recommending have nothing to do with what she did. On top of that, Charlotte was telling Gary about other guys who've hit on her, almost as if that was supposed to get his trust back. Before all this went down, they were actually trying to have a baby.
As long as Gary doesn't stick with her, I'd say he dodged a bullet there.
Well, you know, her biological clock's ticking, which is partly why Gary thinks she gave him an ultimatum. He doubts that she'll want to wait around for several years for him to get over what she did. Still, Gary wasn't ready to make his choice just yet. For Gary, Charlotte broke something that he's not sure can ever be fixed. However, that doesn't change the fact that he loves her and hopes for reconciliation. Ever since his discovery, Gary's had problems with alcohol, so you can only imagine how much trouble this whole thing caused him. Thankfully though, when he shared this story with the world, he'd been sober for 2 weeks, so I can only hope that things stayed that way. Anyway, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed today's video on coffee and popcorn, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.